because there was a tweet that was put out like an hour or two ago that had a lot of action.
Trending.
A lot of action. Yeah, here we go.
It's trending. Is it trending? I haven't been on Twitter. Is it trending?
14,000 retweets.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking action.
I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's doing okay.
It's trending.
For announcement news, but we're
Kyrie
NBA's trying to make some waves.
Kyrie Irving has reached out to Lakers star LeBron James in attempts to see if James would come to Dallas. Irving is a free agent this offseason. Okay, so he's not currently under contract with the Mavs. Obviously, allegedly, everything we've been told by you and others is that they would like to keep him down there, even though whenever he went to Dallas, that team kind of went to shit. Not their fault. They'll figure it out going forward, I would assume. But LeBron James, 1 year after his son, or during his son signing to USC and having everything go on, would want to go to Dallas, you think? Is this a real, what's the reality behind this entire situation happening?
Yeah, I mean, the reality is it's probably very unlikely because of the reasons you just mentioned. Like LeBron James, for everything I've heard, is like he's happy with LA, being in LA. His son Bronny is about to play at USC, so there's a lot of reasons why being a Laker, retiring as a Laker, makes a lot of sense for LeBron James. And I think probably even when Kyrie Irving, the crux of the story is that Kyrie Irving is trying to recruit LeBron James to potentially come to Dallas, see if he would be open to coming to Dallas. I'm told he's formally reached out, made contact with LeBron James to seek whether James would be open to it. And the interesting wrinkle here is that at the end of the year, LeBron James did make some comments when they were eliminated in the Western Conference Finals that hinted at him possibly considering retirement, and that he's going to be mulling whether how long he wants to play. Now, I came on this show, I spoke about it. His foot, he's dealing with a foot issue. We'll see what happens there, but everyone I've spoken to fully expects, and my full expectation, that LeBron James is going to play next season. He has way too much left in the tank. He looks too good. He just averaged 29, 7 and 6. Like the numbers he's putting up at the age of 38, unbelievable. So I think everyone expects him to play. But the fact that Kyrie Irving, everyone talked about Kyrie Irving going to LA. LeBron clearly has made it known he wants to play with Kyrie Irving, and he wants to play with Kyrie Irving in LA. But now Kyrie Irving is changing this, and he wants to recruit. And I think the bigger story is what will happen with Kyrie Irving in free agency. The fact that he's going out and wanting to recruit a guy like LeBron James, it's clear he's putting on his recruiting cap. He wants to get talent in Dallas. He's trying to recruit talent to Dallas, and we'll see how that plays out and bodes for his free agency.
Yeah, most likely outcome here, Kyrie ends up in Dallas, LeBron stays at LA, or Kyrie ends up in LA, and this was just like a big, I tried type play. You know what I mean?
I mean, listen, with free agency, you never know. But I think Kyrie Irving, it seemed like he enjoyed experiences in Dallas. I know Mark Cuban, Nico Harrison, they've been vocal about wanting to bring him back. I think that's probably the more likely outcome in all of this. But these players are talking, and when players talk and when guys start to recruit each other, there was a period of about 2 months where Kyrie Irving was deciding on his future. And him and LeBron James were going back and forth. And I think Kyrie Irving at that point, there were times last summer where he wanted to be a Laker, no question. He ends up staying with the Nets. We talked about it. We broke all that. Then he ends up getting traded to the Mavericks. The Lakers had an opportunity to trade for him. He ends up in Dallas Maverick. And I think there is going to be a lot of interest in him staying there. But the fact that this is now a conversation, I think this is 2 years in a row where the possibility, the reunion of LeBron James, Kyrie Irving, two guys that won a championship together in Cleveland, it's going to be a storyline.
Yeah, hell yeah. 14,000 retweets on something that probably isn't likely. Yeah. I love everything about it. Everybody wants to see it happen again because, you remember when Kyrie was in there and cooking.
Beat Golden State.
Man, imagine LeBron with him and Luka.
Whoa. Look out.
That would be crazy.
Well, playing with 8 basketball.
The interesting is it's not like it's just, all right, Kyrie Irving wants to play with LeBron James. I mean, every player in the league wants to play with LeBron James. The big thing here is that entering free agency, Kyrie Irving is now making it known he wants to see if the Mavericks can go get a guy like Kyrie Irving. He's reached out to LeBron James, go get LeBron James. He's reached out to LeBron directly in the last several days, and so he wants this to happen. We'll see what the real odds are of it actually taking place.
Okay, so Kyrie in Dallas still, just as somebody that does not know basketball that well.
Okay,
call me a casual. Call me a noob. Call me whatever you want.
Sure.
But I had eyes
We're
on
not
it.
noobs here when I'm on.
Yeah, you are not. You're in there. You're actually in the league. So shout out to you being there. I actually seen this Dallas Mavericks team play basketball, though, with these guys. Played against the Pacers. Okay? That arena was filled up for Luka. Because Luka, the way Luka was playing.
Dog.
And Luka had that pass cross court, if you do recall, at the Pacers game. That was the entire takeaway moment. But shortly before that, they were playoff contenders. Like, here we go. This team's going to potentially go. Luka maybe going to win the MVP.
Yeah.
Luka's going to win the MVP. Then Kyrie goes to their team. They don't make the playoffs. They're resting players. Luka doesn't like basketball anymore.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yes. Oh,
that was
yeah.
happening there for like a
Yep.
week or two.
Had to get investigated because the last game of the season, they decided to not play Luka.
Not play anybody.
Yeah.
So what happened there, you think, behind the scenes, and how do they fix that for next year if they're going to remain all in one unit? It seems like they want to remain as team. And did I accurately describe what had taken place?
Yeah, I mean, listen, from a surface level, from like bare bones, yes. Like Kyrie Irving went there. I think they were the 3 or 4 seed in the Western Conference, and they end up all the way out of the playoffs, all the way out of the play-in. That is definitely a
Resting players at
ending
the end.
to a season.
Ridiculous.
Resting players at the end
The
to
draft pick.
keep their top 10
Heater of
pick,
the
which is
finals.
now going to be potential trade bait out there in the marketplace. And they got fined $500,000 for that situation where they essentially admitted to tanking. But I think when you look at it, and Jason Kidd has spoken to it, I think Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic played, I want to say 15 games, 12 games with each other the second half of the season. The Mavericks, Jason Kidd, Mark Cuban, Nico Harrison, they fully believe that we need to give these guys more reps. Both these guys can show that they can score, they can play with each other. They both seem to like each other. And I'm told latter half of the season, they both spend time working out together, spending more time together. So they fully believe that, like, we're going to get these two guys right. It's about building around them, building continuity, building chemistry. And that's where this offseason comes into play, is like they need talent on this Mavericks team. So, yes, would you love a guy like LeBron James on this team? For sure. But think about a player in that type of a mold, guys that are free agent. Like, I'm not saying the Mavericks are interested in these players, but you look at the 4 threes that are out there in the market.
Austin Reeves.
Guys like Draymond Green, Jeremy Grant, Harrison Barnes. Like, those are the types of 4 threes that if you're Dallas, you can get your hands on a defender, two-way player. You have to look at that.
I think that's what this NBA Finals is showcasing to me, the dumbass that watches the NBA. Like, hey, teams matter.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Time. Oh, yeah.
These teams matter. The depth of teams really matter. And I think we kind of all get caught up in, like, where are the superstars, the big 3, the big 2, the big this, the big that. It's like the rest of that roster really matters. You've been saying that for a long time. That's why the moves that LA made at the trade deadline was such a big deal to get them into the playoffs, ultimately not being able to beat this Nuggets team, man.